Welcome to a Return to Oneness. My name is Eddie, and I help people open their hearts. This video is part of the series, The System Exposed, and is titled, Why the System Manipulates You. If you are ready to learn why the system's programming manipulates everyone, then get ready to follow the White Rabbit. No one wants to admit that he or she has been controlled and manipulated. Many will hear the content of this video and will immediately deny it, for they believe that they are in control of their own lives. However, this is a misguided belief, one that was also designed by the system and implanted within their subconscious mind. Why is this one program so important to the system? The answer is really quite simple, for that one program creates the illusion of free will. Yet, how can you have free will if your will is imprisoned within a system designed for control and manipulation? You can't. You can only believe you have free will. But the belief you have free will is nothing but a sham, nothing but smoke and mirrors. This is done on purpose. Why is this? Quite simply, the system would crumble if it didn't keep you in the belief that you control your life through free will. Therefore, the system does not want you to discover the truth, because it knows you would, and ultimately will, withdraw your allegiance to it. I recognize there are those who will not believe free will is but an illusion, and you might be one of them. For you may be thinking, I choose what I wear, I decide what I eat, and I determine the job I have. Yes, you bought the clothes you wear, and you buy the food you eat, and you applied for and were chosen for the job you currently have. But is that free will? For those are nothing but choices you have made. What then is free will? You might be surprised to learn that it is not what you thought it was. Most simply believe that free will is nothing more than they have the right to make their own choices regarding what they think and do. However, this is not what free will really is. But if it isn't about choice, then what is free will? In its real sense, free will is unbounded or untethered desire. More specifically, free will is unlimited success in all areas and aspects of your life. Free will is founded on abundance, not scarcity. On living, not just scraping by to survive, as well as on creating the life you imagine and not living a life of mediocrity. It is living in and from peace, joy, love, and health. It is not living in misery, conflict, and hopelessness. For those are not about free will. Free will is about living a life of abundance without the yoke of fear and all that fear creates. However, the system wasn't designed for you to live in peace, love, and joy. If that were truly the case, then you wouldn't be controllable. And control is the purpose of the system. This is exactly what Neo discovered in the movie The Matrix Reloaded. In the scene where Neo is with Counselor Hammond on the engineering level of Zion, Neo responds to the counselor by saying that we have the same power as the machines. We can either give life or take it. Then, after a brief discussion about how the machines on the engineering level benefit Zion, Neo says to the counselor, "We control these machines. They don't control us." Once you begin to awaken to the truth, you recognize that we live in nothing more than an illusion where we believe we are in control of our lives. Yet, this couldn't be farther from the truth, for the system, with its implanted programming found within our subconscious minds, is the one in control. But what's its purpose? To what end does it serve? All you need do is open your eyes to answer those two questions. For the system serves but a small minority, ensuring that this planet's abundance and resources are used to maximize the profit that fills the bank accounts of the uber wealthy. In addition, you need look no further than what has been coined the military-industrial complex. Between it and the fossil fuel industry, more wealth has been accumulated from these two industries than ever experienced in world history. And where there is wealth, there is greed. For when is enough enough? Although there is nothing inherently wrong with being wealthy, when greed is involved, suffering isn't far behind. But more importantly, where there is greed, there is also control found lurking in the shadows. For without control, greed could not, nor would not, exist. As such, the system is one of control. It controls and manipulates through the fear-based programs known as beliefs that reside and quietly run within the subconscious mind. For example, we have been taught through programming that we must strive and eke out a living for ourselves. We exchange our most precious commodity, time, for little strips of paper that we call money. In truth, those little strips of paper only have the value we give it. Yet everything in this world is based on how much money that thing is valued at. And this includes the time you exchange for those strips of paper. Then you exchange those little strips of paper for housing, food, necessities, and entertainment. It is the way the system functions, and no one questions it. In a previous video of this series, it was given that there are 6 categories of fear. The first category is the fear of economic insecurity. Furthermore, all fear is based on the fear of losing something you have, or not obtaining something you need. This fear is also a program found within the subconscious mind. And because this fear has been programmed within all subconscious minds, the system uses it to control and manipulate the population as a whole. This control is clearly evidenced when you view a commercial. How many commercials have you seen where you are being invited to purchase a product that will help prolong the onset of aging? There are creams, ointments, pills, and even plastic surgery advertised in order to elicit this subconscious fear of aging so that you will part with your money. The same money that you earned for parting with your time at a job you probably don't like. The system is founded on control by manipulating your fears. The question is, do you really need some type of anti-aging formula? Or do you purchase it to quell the fear that arises with the thought that with each passing moment you are getting older? The point is, fear is used to manipulate you into spending your money for something you are told you need. Yet the greatest form of control employed by the system is how it manipulates us into competing with each other for what we believe are limited resources. Thus, through the programming installed within the subconscious mind, we are manipulated to fear the perceived differences of others who don't look, act, or believe as we do. We are not taught to celebrate our diversity or that which makes us different. Rather, the system uses the perceived differences to manipulate its hosts in order to achieve an outcome favorable to it. Through manipulation, the system encourages those with similar backgrounds and interests to form groups. Then, the system simply allows conflict to arise between the groups. For it doesn't have to create the conflict because the system recognizes that perceived differences always engender fear. And fear creates conflict. Therefore, the system is ever so subtle in its manipulation. For the system simply allows the belief that differences are interpreted as threatening to run its course, which means that conflict will arise. And once conflict surfaces, each group will attack and counterattack at the slightest provocation. The system was designed to create conflict through fear-based programming. For fear creates conflict, which in turn strengthens the fear. Therefore, the system uses the fear-based subconscious programming to control and manipulate everyone. And it is done in such a way that everyone remains consciously unaware of what is actually occurring, because everyone is deluded into believing they have free will and are in control of their own lives. Never forget, the system is designed to control and manipulate through fear-based programming found within your subconscious mind. And it does this ever so subtly. Why? Because once the programming is detected and understood for what it is, you would immediately remedy the situation by deleting the fear-based programs. That is the purpose of this series. It is to expose the system so that you can choose whether to remain a part of it or to free yourself. Some will choose to remain plugged into the system because, as Morpheus told Neo in the first Matrix movie, you have to understand, Most of these people are not ready to be unplugged, and many of them are so inured, so hopelessly dependent on the system that they will fight to protect it. The question is, are you so hopelessly dependent on the system that you would rather remain plugged in? Yet, how can you really answer that question when you have never really tasted true freedom? For you have never learned of your true self. Most have no idea of what they are in truth and the immense power that is found within them. And you may be one of them. But the system knows the truth of who and what you are. And it uses the fear-based programming to keep you from discovering the truth of yourself. If you are ready to learn what the system is hiding from you, then click on the orange butterfly in the lower right corner. That way, you will be notified when the next video in this series, What the System is Hiding from You, is released. Also, please click on the like button, for you will be helping to spread the message to those who are ready to learn about the system of control. Thank you for listening to this video. It is appreciated. And always remember, you are loved, and you are love itself.